In Boston, state chemist Annie Dookhan is responsible for the largest number of drug cases being tossed out in history, all because she wanted to look good. But of course, in San Fernando, Trinidad, we don't know her as Annie Dookhan. We remember her as little Annie Can before she migrated to the US as a child. In 2003, Annie is hired by Hinton State Laboratory Institute in Boston. Later on, it was revealed that Annie may have substantially exaggerated her academic qualifications. Regardless, Annie very quickly became a star at the lab. She was testing samples at a far higher rate than anyone else. She would always take the largest workloads, and her results helped with successfully prosecuting tens of thousands of individuals. And it was clear she wasn't doing the extra work for overtime pay, but what she was getting is praises from all of her bosses higher up the chain. She was a standout employee against whom all others were measured. But in 2011, 8 years into her tenure at the lab, the cracks started to show. In June of that year, an evidence officer realized Dookhan had tested 95 samples without signing them out and had forged the initials of an evidence officer in her logbook. She was suspended from the lab but was still allowed to continue testifying for the state in court with regards to samples she had tested up to that point. It wasn't until February 2012 she was sent on administrative leave because the district attorneys were notified of the breach. She resigned 1 month later. An investigation was launched and it was far worse than anyone could have imagined. Annie tested over 500 samples a month. What's the average, you may ask? About 100. She supposedly tested 5 times more than the other chemists, but was hardly ever seen in front of a microscope. The lab enjoyed her results while neglecting to do its due diligence. Annie eventually admitted to faking test results, visually identifying samples without testing, and adding white powdered narcotics to samples that did not contain white powdered narcotics. The most outrageous part is Annie didn't do this for monetary gain or nepotism. It was all because she wanted to look good. She wanted the adulation of her peers. In 2013, Annie was sentenced to 3 to 5 years in prison plus 2 years probation. She was paroled in 2016. Over 20,000 criminal drug charges had to be dropped because of Annie's actions, and the state is facing multiple lawsuits. Well done, Annie. If you're interested in crime documentaries, be sure to check out the 1060 Crimes YouTube channel. 1060 Crimes, Small Caribbean, Big Crime.